And now, for an Angela Bennett Show exclusive interview with Bishop Albert Jamison and Bishop Brian Moore of GMWA Nationals.
The Angela Bennett Show on GMWRadio1.com. We are extremely excited to have Bishop Albert Jamison and Bishop Brian Moore. How are you young men doing?
Fine. I'm so glad to be with you today.
I am so happy to have you too. And Bishop Moore, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you for having us on today.
Oh, you are so welcome. The main thing that we really want to talk about is we're so excited about GMWA doing a virtual conference. How did you guys plan to do this, and what's going to take place? You know, who's singing, who's preaching, all of the good stuff.
Okay, well, actually, Pastor Jonathan Willis is the producer of this from Norfolk, Virginia. What we did, we tried to go over and picked at least 5 from every area to represent. And then we're dealing with our men's department, our women's department, our mass choir, our dancers. Every department is going to be representative during these 2 or 3 days that we're going to be on there. Again, you got the children's choir, you got the adult choir, you got the national mass choir, you got women's choir, you got the men's choir, and then we all come together.
Wow. So we have everybody that's going to be there. It's going to be just like we're flying out there, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
Without the expenses.
Without the Okay, well, you know, we love GMWA, so, you know, the expenses, and we don't mind that. But let me ask you this. What time will the service begin?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. What time will your service begin?
7 o'clock, ma'am.
7 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I know for GMWA, it's a conference that basically you just don't sleep there.
Absolutely.
So do you have a time frame? Is it going to be like from 7 to 10 or 7 to midnight? What are we looking at?
We're looking at 2.5 hours. So you're talking about 9:30.
Oh, okay. Okay. So will we have some singing? Will we have some preaching each night? How will this go?
See, you're gonna have some singing. You're gonna show some of the academics.
Okay.
Margaret DeRoe class, different classes like that. You have a sermonette. We'll take a sermon and make a sermonette out of it. So you can be. It's just gonna be like a little bit of each, but enough to satisfy you.
Very good. Do you have any gospel artists that will be singing?
Well, 90% of the people that you're going to be listening to are artists within themselves.
Absolutely.
And
but
so I know we're going to do that. Every now and then you might pick up, you might hear Kurt Carr, you might hear this. But mostly every group it's an artist. In other words, by themselves, they have recordings out. You got like the Florida Mass Choir, you'll hear them.
Okay.
And you'll hear a segment from the Georgia Mass Choir. You'll hear them. So like in New York, you'll hear James Hall and Hezekiah Walker within most of our music.
Okay, James Hall, one of my favorite, and Hezekiah Walker
Please don't let James Hall hear that because his head is big enough.
Well, we actually love him. So let me ask you this also, Bishop Jamison, will you be speaking to us?
Yes, I will. One of the part of our communion service that I do on Sunday morning.
Right.
I'll be addressing, yes, to answer your question, yes, I will be doing.
Okay, and what about you, Bishop Moore?
Yeah,
I'm going to go ahead, Bishop.
No, I'm saying, he's going to be doing the academics. He preached 2 years or 3 years in a row from the academics, so we're going to be taking part of his academic message also.
Okay. Okay. So now let me ask you this. I know this is the first time you guys have had to do a virtual conference or go virtual with this. How is it feeling? I mean, what are your thoughts about it? I know with this pandemic going on, we've all had to go this route. Has it been tough for you to try to do it, or have you just had such a great team and enjoying the newness of doing this?
Well, I don't know. Brian could probably answer that. One of the things that helps us, we're used to doing it now. We've been doing it since August. I mean, for April.
Okay.
We've been doing this for our morning services and so forth. We've been doing that. That's all you could do now.
Yeah.
And so we kind of used to it now because, again, we've been doing it since April, and now we're in the end of July. And so kind of used to it. Brian, how you feel about it?
Well, I was getting ready to say the same thing that Bishop just said. He and I are both pastors, and so we have been in this vein since March with the whole virtual worship experience. But I think that even though this is going to be our first as a workshop, a convention, doing a virtual presentation, Bishop Jamison has done an incredible job at pulling everyone together. And one of the things that I probably would suggest that if any organization who's had to go virtual, if you were strong before this virtual season, then you're going to be strong during the virtual season. But if you were shaky before this virtual season, this is only going to intensify that unstableness. But we're a strong convention. Bishop Jamison has led us in a strong way, so we're unified. So it is amazing how everybody has come together for this virtual experience this week, and I think it's going to be an incredible experience for us.
So basically what you're saying, Bishop Moore, is that this is not for the faint at heart.
Not for the faint at heart.
you got to be strong, and you got to know how to maneuver and do what you need to do. So let me ask you this.
Let me say this to you. In all actuality, we are going to have to get used to this.
Yes, sir.
I don't see it ending no time soon. We're going to have. When I looked at Google company yesterday, saying that their workers can stay off until the summer of next year, that lets me know we might as well get used to this because it's going to be here for a while. I don't know if we want to get used to it or what, but I'm just saying that's something that we need to probably get used to.
Absolutely.
Right. You're absolutely correct. Harold, was there a question that you wanted to ask?
I want to talk about the music. I mean, that's what GMWA is for, the music. What can we expect as far as new music comes this year?
Well, I just probably want to say that that's where the mass choir come in at. They're probably doing 5 songs that you probably have never heard of before. And I just said probably because you never know. In this new music seminar that we got, you'll be surprised that people record it and send it on before they even get home. The music department have picked it up, and all they have to do is come in the next week and do the rehearsal on it. So I'm just saying that, yes, same thing with the men's, same thing with the women's choir, same thing with the young adults. Most of that music from songwriters, and I think you will. It's called the best of. In other words, it's called the best of.
Okay. So now we want to make sure, Bishop, that no one misses this opportunity and no one misses this virtual that starts on tomorrow. Now, I know we have Facebook. Are you going to have a link up on Facebook, or will you send out an email to all of those that generally, how will we know how to get online and attend the virtual conference?
You want me to answer that, Bishop?
Yeah.
Okay. It's on the Gospel Music Workshop of America's Facebook page.
Okay.
And everyone will have to do is to sign in onto our Facebook page, Gospel Music Workshop of America. Okay. And they will be able to actually access the link that is on our page, our Facebook page. We will be on Facebook Live.
Okay. All right. So are you saying promptly at 7:30 you guys are going to start?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's Eastern time, correct?
Eastern time, yes.
Okay. So I said 7:30. Which one is it?
Bishop,
7.
7 o'clock
8?
nightly.
Okay, 7 o'clock nightly until about 9:30.
Yes, and can let me give you the actual address. It is www.facebook.com/GMWA National.
Okay, give it to us one more time.
One more time. www.facebook.com/GMWA National.
Okay.
And we'll be live streaming from that platform.
And this will go from Wednesday, which is tomorrow, until Friday. What are those dates?
July 29th through July 31st, 7 o'clock p.m.
July 29th through the 31st.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to ask you, Bishop, I'll ask Bishop Jamison first, and then you can answer second, Bishop Moore. What encouraging words do you have for those during this time, during this COVID season? What do we need to do to just press forward?
Well, I first of all, I'd like to invite you to, when you get time, to read the book of Habakkuk.
Okay.
The book of Habakkuk is 3 chapters there. And the Bible says that Habakkuk, it begins to say, and Habakkuk said, how long shall we go through these changing times? And it says there was violence, injustice, all of that speaks of this time.
Yeah.
Injustice, I mean, they're marching up and down the streets. I don't know where you are, what they're doing, but everywhere, mostly in metropolitan cities, they are marching because what they're saying is that we want change, and we want change right now. So I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. I mean, if it's positive, keep doing what you're doing, because the bottom line, as Habakkuk says, how long shall we cry and you will not hear us? How long shall we go through and you will not come to see about us? Habakkuk was wondering, and then he was praising God, and he went to worshiping. From wondering to worshiping God, he said, although the fig tree shall not blossom, yet I will rejoice.
Yes.
Okay.
Rejoice in the God of my salvation. My God will give me feet like hinds' feet to walk upon my high places of my life. To my string instrument and to my singers, sing it aloud.
Wow.
Go ahead and preach, Bishop. Go ahead and preach. You just gave a message right there. Go ahead and preach. So, and what do you have to say, Bishop Moore?
Well, you should have let me go first. First of all,
Okay, so
you see what I have to tend with. Okay, right there. You see that?
I see. But I think you can handle it.
Well, I mean, we're living in unprecedented times. I mean, we're living in the midst of a health crisis, and we're also living in the midst of a humanity crisis. But the fact of the matter is, whether it is a health storm or it is a humanity storm with the racial injustices that are occurring, God's not unfamiliar with storms. And
absolutely.
Every storm has an expiration date. And this is not the first pandemic that we've had to deal with. The people of God had to deal with many pandemics. But the fact of the matter is, God is still in control.
Absolutely.
And so, as I would say to each and every one of them, each and every one of the individuals that are listening to us today, that God is still in the driver's seat. And in every storm, in every situation, God can take that situation and work a miracle in it. And so we're not confused. We're not frustrated. We know who we serve, and we will certainly trust in God. He is our confidence.
Yes,
not
he is.
Not the government, not the man in the White House, not Congress. God is in control, and He is our confidence.
Absolutely. I think you handled that pretty well, Bishop Moore.
Well,
Don't let him fool you.
I've been with Bishop Jamison since I was 14 years old, so I've learned a little bit.
Wow.
Don't let him
You-
fool.
you
Listen,
got
don't
it.
let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. That's how he get into the house all the time by playing innocent. But let me tell you something. He's almost one of the best preachers I've heard in my time, and that's how come he's the vice. So don't let him fool you like Tom. I should have went first. Don't let him. I went first because I got good sense.
I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Before we go, Harold, do you have anything else you want to ask about?
All right, so this is the Angela Bennett Show, and we like to have fun. So, Bishop Moore, we're putting you back in the hot seat, okay?
Oh, Lord.
Real quick. This game we're going to quickly play is called Bishop Jamison or Bishop James Cleveland, okay? So, we're going to test your trivia and see
All
how
right.
you know, Bishop. All right, here we go. Born in Chicago, Illinois.
Bishop James Cleveland.
Okay. Had the 1994 song Moving On.
Bishop James Cleveland.
Uh-oh, who was that, Bishop Jamison?
Moving on.
Am I right? Or Bishop Jamison?
Huh?
1994?
Moving on.
Moving on?
I don't know that.
I used to be his musician. I don't remember that.
Uh-oh. Now, I'm just going off the website. Under his direction, the New York State chapter of GMWA performed a live recording and video, Moving On, in 1994.
You know, when you get close to 60, you start forgetting things.
Don't
Listen,
say that. Don't say
I
that.
didn't know who it was neither. I didn't know it was me neither. So moving on. When you said Mass Choir, yes, I remember that. I remember that now. Yeah.
Okay.
I got just two more for you, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Has wrote over 400 songs.
Reverend James Cleveland.
All right, and last one but not least, won the Grammy Award for Best Gospel Album by a Choir and Chorus in 1990.
Bishop Albert A. Jamison.
Bishop?
He was nominated. Would you say won or nominated?
One.
Reverend James Cleveland.
There we go.
But Triborough Mass Choir should have won the Grammy. They were nominated for a Grammy, but they should have won that year also.
So let me ask you this, Bishop, question for you. I know you guys did it was an album back then, a couple of years ago. Do you see a new project or anything coming soon?
Oh, yeah. Before all of this happened, we was in the studio and I finished one song. We were in the studio and yeah, to answer your question, yes, I do.
Okay, very, very good. We are definitely looking forward to that. Now, before we go, Bishop Moore, please give us the link one more time, the dates and the time the services will start on Wednesday.
All right. Beginning on tomorrow night, July the 29th through Friday, July 31st. We will begin at 7:00 p.m. nightly. You can access our platform. It is www.facebook.com/GMWA National.
Okay, and those dates?
July 29th through July 31st. Tomorrow night, Wednesday through Friday night, 7:00 p.m.
Okay, and we're going to get a little bit of everything, correct? Right?
We have Daily Bread, where Bishop Jamison has brought in some of the nation's greatest preachers. They are going to give us homilies each day.
Okay.
And then we're going to hear from chapters and our dancers, our chapter choirs. We'll get a little bit from our academics department. We are the largest floating university in the world, gospel university in the world. And so you'll see a little bit from our academic department. It's going to be an experience that you won't forget.
I believe that. I never want to leave this out when we're having service. Now, will there be a way that we will be able to give back in the service? Will there be a Cash App, or how will we be able to give to the virtual service? Do you have that information?
Most definitely. Bishop, you want me to answer, or you want to answer that?
You go ahead. You're doing good.
During the entire experience on the screen, there'd be two ways to give. Through Givelify and also through our Cash App. And so we are definitely encouraging everyone to seed into the Ministry of Gospel Music Workshop of America. Even though we meet physically twice a year before this pandemic, we are in ministry and investing in people's lives 12 months a year.
Right.
And so we are asking and encouraging everyone, if we've been a blessing to you, the Gospel Music Workshop of America, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday will be an excellent opportunity for individuals to seed back into the ministry. So we will have all of that information on the screen throughout the events on this week.
Well, allow me to say thank you guys so much once again for taking time out to be on the Angela Bennett Show, which airs every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time on GODradio1.com. Thank you, Bishop Jamison, and thank you, Bishop Moore. I love you guys, and we will be tuning in with you, okay?
All right, thank you so much.
Be sure to follow the 2020 GMWA National Virtual Convention by going to GMWA Nationals on Facebook. And also, tune in to the Angela Bennett Show on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time on GOD Radio.